All right, everyone. You're watching the English language restream of RTA in Japan. That was a fantastic scheme run that we just had. I had so much fun hosting and commentating that. But we're here getting ready for our next run, which is going to be Breath of Fire Dragon Quarter, and we have a new commentator joining us to help explain that. If you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. I am Mechalink, or Mecha for short. I'm here to cover Mocha's run of Breath of Fire Dragon Quarter that was just added to the schedule, and I'm super excited about this, especially because Dragon Quarter, it may be an RPG speedrun, but if you don't know, it's not what you'd expect. I'm
excited. I know nothing about it, so I am going to be very curious to see it.
Yeah, it deviates from the Breath of Fire series, so if you're like, oh, it's a Breath of Fire game, it is, but it's not.
Okay.
And then you're like, oh, so it's still a normal RPG, right? And it's like, yes, kinda. Yes.
Perfect.
In 2002, right? Like, this is much more untraditional than it would be nowadays. Nowadays, there are many games that kind of follow its formula, so to speak, in terms of a hybrid battle map movement type deal, right? Like with RPG commands. That was much more of a deviation at the time. Dragon Quarter had a poor critical reception in part because everybody was like, but like, it's nothing like Breath of Fire 4, right? Which makes it a bit of a niche game, but it's always been a favorite of mine.
Well, I am excited to see that. I do want to quickly shout out that RTA in Japan Summer 2025 has raised 5.2 million yen so far for Doctors Without Borders, which is really cool. Let me see if I can get a conversion on that for y'all. Yen to USD, because I know it's not quite what you'd expect, but let me grab that for y'all. That is about $35,000, which is pretty incredible. That's a great amount for a very important cause.
I think this is their first time out running as a donation marathon. Like, I haven't kept super track. That's the case. I think that's the case. And so, right, like in that frame, right, like, where this is, there haven't been a donation marathon in the past, right? Like, I mean, any amount is good, and getting started, at that, right? Like, maybe it's a little new to them, right?
Yeah, no, that's incredible. And
new as a charity marathon, of course, but not new as a marathon. RTA in Japan is okay.
Puexo, in chat, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, from we're getting corrected here from Sawyoshi.
Okay, it is charity marathon. All right. Okay. So
very cool.
That's my mistake.
But they do have some incentives as well that are currently open.
They have incentives open.
So if you want to see those, !bid war in the chat, you can get access to the page. And with that is the transition to the run. So Mecha, I'm going to let you take over here to explain to folks about this game.
All right. This is Dragon Quarter. All of the Ava vibes that it's giving off. Not that surprising. First, we do some simple config setup, as is pretty common in RPGs. Once this gets started, we'll have a bit of time to explain things, but when you're in the meat of it, it kind of goes a little fast. The overarching kind of idea here is that we live in an underground civilization 1,000 meters below the surface, theoretically due to an apocalypse. We are a low-class person. Our class rating is 1 out of 8,012. And it's supposed to be powers of 4 up. Sorry, it's 8,096. Powers of 4 up, so the highest rating would be 1/4. And so, yeah, we are the lowest of the low, and in turn, we live deep within the earth in a fairly polluted area. First thing you can see, like, this is a cell-shaded game. Right. This is we are a ranger, right? Like, we're part of a team of people that takes care of bad things. We are rushing to receive our assignment here. That's our friend Bosch. He is higher. He has a higher number. He is more well known. He is more noble than us. But yeah, we are ignoring everything because none of that gives us what we need. And what we need and what we're going to go buy are meat and bombs. Not because we want to use them in combat, but because we want to use them out of combat. Yeah, friend. Brexel's fine. I was putting quotes around that friend for a reason. Yeah. So yeah, we're running through low sector, right? Like you can see, you're kind of giving off those, Corel mining, dingy underground metal place. Inventory management. But yeah, mainly meat and bombs here. Meat lures monsters on the overworld map, and bombs explode on monsters on the overworld map. And those are two things we're going to be doing because this game is a out of combat kind of movement game that when you engage with an enemy, like you swing your sword at them and like you engage with them, right? Like then you enter a combat scene, but that combat scene is full field movement, not like a grid, but by measurement of distance. Big thing here, as we enter the first dungeon, is that there are 2 versions of every room, and like they're not coordinated. It's not like you get A or B and then you'll get A or B for the next one. They're completely uncoordinated, right? So for each of these rooms, you've memorized one or the other. You've memorized both of the alternate layouts. You see them switch the meat, right? Like they lay the meat and then pick it up immediately and run past, trying to get that guy to not fight them. We'll use the meat again here and leave that one to be eaten to avoid those nuggets, right? And in that, you can see what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing a lot of kind of overworld try and manage the monsters to make our combats favorable or evade them entirely. Right, and like that definitely a departure from the traditional kind of turn-based RPG that people might expect out of a Breath of Fire game. So we're continuing, right? Like in theory, we're just here to like get a package and deliver it. Is what we've been told. And so yeah, we're running through low sector. That's a shot person. We'll talk with them at some point, I'm sure. Here, right? Like. But otherwise we're just mainly running. We don't have any movement tech yet. We will get some. Right, and you can see that Mocha knows, Mocha knows the world because, like you saw there, Mocha entered the door without being able to see it. Right, so Mocha's very practiced at this. Those little splash screens that are popping up are kind of tutorials as to, like this, this is something you should know, right? And of course, we don't need to know them, so we page them as fast as possible. Those full field things. Yeah, we're actually below the height at which we live at the moment because we've gone down a few levels. All right, that pill bug drops there, trying to surprise you. Again, we put down the meat to distract the monster and pick it up immediately. Again, now we don't want to fight the big one, so we lure it aside. Continue moving. A danger room, right? So in this room, you have to get rid of everything. So we're going to use the meat. We use the meat again. We set up some bombs. Did we? We ran. I don't think we got the setup we wanted here for the bombs. That means we lost a couple of meats. Okay, try again. All right. Is this gonna work? Is this gonna work? Okay. Yeah. Boom. We set off the bombs. That after having lured them in, it kills them all. You get extra experience and rewards for killing enemies quickly. So that invites you to use the tactical system of the game, right? Like to try and make your fights as advantageous as possible. It's not just speedrunner tech; it's good experience tech. And so we're trying to get around the mother nugget. We're trying to get it into position so that the bomb is going to do the job. All right, yep, that worked. We got it. Very close there. I think we used up all of our meat to get there, or almost all of our meat. But You know, one is all you need. She drops a key to a treasure chest. In theory, you're supposed to play this game like a roguelike, and that like there's extra resources on each level that you can access, right? Like you kind of choose to press your luck or not. There's another system in the game where essentially you can, where like you save and then you can go back to that save but keep the experience you gained to some degree. And so you do these kind of what are called SOL loops. That won't be happening in the game. SOL loops take time. But like in a casual playthrough, that was another thing that made a lot of people confused was SOL loops. Remorting and doing that sort of thing was not very familiar to, you know. Yeah, I'm definitely glad that the game got its due after its divisive. Okay, so now we're in medical place. Right, like we're supposed to pick something up here, as far as we know. But here we run into this thing, this giant dragon corpse, and Ryu starts reacting to it. We skip those cutscenes, of course, but like Ryu starts reacting, and now we have in the upper right-hand corner we have a cube inside a cube. That's a special tool that will help us later.
なんと最初からゲームをやり直す機能がメニュー画面についてるんですよ。これ物語の途中どうしても進めなくなってしまってどうしようもない場面が多々通常プレイで出てくるからおそらくギブアップというコマンドを入れたんでしょうけれど、まあ難しさを象徴するエピソードとして。
Those things die like Earthbound. They die because they're so weak when you cut them, and they drop stuff, med kits, typically. Here again, we're gonna try and manipulate monsters to avoid combat, so we can get this thing. And onward we go. Yep, there's another shop person who we still get to ignore. We haven't had any item drops yet. You have to identify things in this game. It very much kind of pulls from a wizardry school of logic. That was a train. The train was supposed to be carrying our thing. Except that some rebels against the current order attack us, and we get blown off the rails, and we fall all the way down. And we're here. Right, shop. Sell some stuff. Buying more resources for managing the overworld. Skipping the save point again and heading in. We are coming up on a real. We fell down 200 meters. Right, like okay, so. One thing the game gives you is it gives you experience unattached to characters. All right, we're going with level 6. All right, so this is the minimum level you can go into this fight and have it routed out for. There's a boss fight here that you play very precisely. In essence, it has an enrage when it goes below half health. So our job is to keep it from going below half health, right? Like until we were ready to kill it, right? So, like this entire fight's. What you're going to see is and anything that you think might be weird here is because they need to take the fight such that the enemy dies, right? Like the enemy goes below half health when you want, right? So here's another piece of the game. The game has a combo system, right? Like you can use weak, medium, and strong attacks, and they can chain into each other. That provides extra damage. Here we comboed into using Death Blow repeatedly. We stopped using Death Blow just above half health. Right, like, and because we routed the level, we know exactly how much damage we're going to do, right? And so right now the monster is trading off power attack. In enrage mode, it's just attack, right? Like, and that's why we're trying to avoid the enrage. Right. Well, here's another heal. Right. Yeah, I got the health max, and here we go again. Right, we're gonna try and do. Yeah, we're definitely in the try and kill it phase here. So we're going to spend all of our AP on death blows and hope it gets there. All right, it's still alive. So we're going to get one turn of it enraged.
危なそう。このクリティカ
You
ルが
saw exactly what happens. It attacked twice in our cycle, right? So, like, if it got to do that twice, we'd be dead.
完了となります。
So, but because of that, we only take one turn of double attacks, and we're through the first fight. Yeah, healing is a free action. The game is meant to be tactical combat. All right, we get access to D-Dash. This is our movement tech. And at the moment, it's free. It'll cost us later, but right now... Oh, no!
2位にいるか大丈夫か。
Wow.
ここで当たること
I don't think this was intentional.
ないというか、そもそもこのゲーム当たったら
Yeah, no, the D-Dash is supposed to let you push enemies aside. Right, like among other things it does. It also speeds us up. And it also breaks things. So yeah, you'll see us use D-Dash. As I said, it becomes a resource, but right now we just get it for free. So you can expect us to be doing that most of the game. And again, we'll use it to avoid fights, to knock enemies around, right? Like all sorts of things that aid in the tactical combat. And yeah, we picked up another party member, by the way, Nina. She has these really odd back wings. She's wearing white. She's very frail. She has a manacle on her on one of her arms, right? Like she does not seem like a normal human being. And then the other person we have there is Rin. She is a cat girl. She was one of the rebels. I don't remember if you know that at this point or not. This enemy jumps us. We make sure to hit it so we get preemptive, and then we flee. Okay, this one we're actually going to set up for the kill. Boom! Fighters! Again, see, you saw tactical bonus, right, like there, and because we got first strike, and then the speed bonus was 72%, right? Like, we got 82% extra XP because we turn one that, right? Again, rating bonus. So, like, any fight that we want to kill that way. And you'll see that, over and over again through this run. And that bonus XP can be applied, it applies to you directly and then also becomes part of that extra XP you can apply whenever.
その威力がとても強いという特性があります。なので RTA 中ではこの爆弾床を消して戦闘中に使って倒すというのが
Yeah, it was kind of a breakneck rush through kind of all of the things that you get access to and kind of what happens in the game at the start. Why did we put a dynamite there? Were we getting rid of it? I missed that. I was looking, somebody has a guide. I'm not sure why they use the dynamite, but Mocha knows what they're doing. Not only are they the only and world record PS3 run for this game, they are a world record holder in several. Yeah, I would guess the limited inventory thing too, Brexel. Right, like you do actually have like 10 inventory slots total. For stuff that isn't being a weapon or an armor that's on your body. So yeah, I think Prexel's right that it's just getting rid of inventory slots. Conveniently, because it was something you could use on the world map. You didn't even have to go into a menu to do it. So yeah, just D-dashing our brains out to get back to civilization, basically. And we found a few people, again, kind of hanging out in not particularly great environment. Alright. Selling shields, and selling Nina's armor. Yeah, no, it's definitely a struggle. You get extra inventory pages as part of the key that I mentioned, the treasures you can get each floor, but those are really essential in a casual playthrough. All right, so we get back and Bosch is like, that girl is our cargo, like, turn her over, and we're like, no, and then we get the other half of the thing is that not only is Ryu named Dragon, our hero, Ryu, is actually part dragon and can invoke the powers of a dragon. this will let us more or less trivialize the bulk of encounters, but it has a cost. You can see that our hexagon in the upper right now has a number, and that number is 1. You can see Bosch here trying to hit you and it does nothing, and Bosch is like, oh, what? Nina's ability, she can lay down traps tactically as well as kind of AoE spells. Unsurprisingly, Nina is a mage. But yeah, we lay down 3 traps there. We have Lyn move. Lyn has a lot of combo abilities that become different when they combo. Right, like she has a pushback, for example, right? And you can see her, tactical combat with pushbacks. All right, and then Ryu has many weapons in dragon form. This one is this is breath. And you'll see us use that the majority of the time because it lets us clear out groups of enemies very fast when we use Ryu. So yeah, in boss fights, we'll be dragoning up by and large, speed them up. Now D-Dive has a cost. It burns that number in the upper right. So it started at 1. After that battle, it's 221. It ticks up over time. Yeah, I mean, it ticks up over time if you do nothing. Right, like so you're on a game timer. It's the short game time. It's not a lot, like it's not gonna kill you, but it's there. Right, see it went up 0.02% just walking around here. Right, and D-Dive makes it the dash makes it go up faster. Right, now it has a cost. Before we had that timer, we could just do it for free. Right, so now we'll be a little more judicious with its use. Because right, but in that case we used it to navigate around a fight. But yeah, yeah, and then again, we're largely we're going to be avoiding fights. There are a couple of places where we will get in fights gladly, and it's because they are set up they're easy to set up extremely well. But and I'll kind of explain what's going on roughly with those when we get there. We're breaking boxes either because they have known things or because they might drop weapons. Yep, that's right. I neglected to mention that counter. This game has 1 save. If that counter hits 100, that save is done. So you absolutely need to be aware of that. Now the game has a but I mean, it's done in the sense that you have to go back to your last save point, so to speak. But you don't get to yeah, you have 1 save. That's where I talked about the SOL system briefly. Yeah, you're able to NG plus without finishing it. And that's NG plus, aka SOL, right? Allows you to reset either to the beginning of the game or to your last save point and retain some or all of your advantages. I refer to it like a remort in very old video game parlance. Absolutely much more like a remort system, right? Again, that kind of speaks to the wizardry world. Here, right, we got proximity bombs in that last buy. That lets us throw bombs that explode on the overworld as opposed to, right, so we're using that meat and just really trying to we're using that meat and they can't get to it, so they're all really focused on that meat. Right. Yeah, well, I think one of the proximity bombs didn't go off, and so we had Vryn try and set it. All right, the 3 normal bombs start the fight. Right. All right. We got the small fry. We're gonna go dragon and probably breath to finish these off. Yeah, we got them all. We can get them all. Breathe it out. That little circle, by the way, says don't release the circle button. Alright, so we do 2 breaths, 1 to conserve our beam, so to speak. And yeah, when you remort, you also change your D. It doesn't change the story any, but you can change your D rating all the way up to the quarter that the game promises. Alright. Yeah, we're just over 5%. But yeah, now we are rebels, right? Because we've gone against the order, right? Nina was a biological experiment. She was supposed to be the cargo, right? we're treating Nina like a person, and therefore, like, we are no longer inside of the normal order. And that means that, like, places that might have been safe before aren't safe anymore. Of course, nobody cares down in Lowtown. Right, we identify some item. And note that we have 3 slots for each type of thing. We got an armor for Nina, we immediately sell it because who cares about Nina's health? Alright, time to stock up on tricks, traps, and healing. Because that's what it's all about. Okay.
21分か。安定を取りすぎている。
This is a section that's a little rough, but you going into it, but it does have a lot of kind of value to it as a casual player. You can see it's right next to, like, it was right next to the town, right? 30 bombs there, 32 meat. Yeah, like, you only have so many inventory slots, and you can only have 10 per. Yeah, you can't use the D door yet. You know that. I don't know why you have to. I'm assuming you have to check it for reasons. Right, but there are D percentage locked doors that, like, oh, you can only use this once you have a certain rating. Right, I'm not sure why we check that D door. I think that one requires D512. Maybe it's to trigger the gas cutscene here. Yep. So yeah, the people in charge have decided to gas entirety of low sector, including you, to take care of the problem that is rapidly building, which is that Ryu is a dragon. And Ryu is going to take Nina to the surface. That said, this fight is not much of a fight. A little short. Right. And then we cancel out of Dragon Form. We didn't. I don't think we got. Okay, we're gonna finish it with slashes. That's fine. Oof. Yay! We still got a good rating bonus because we managed to do it in 1 round, even though we used Dragon. But yeah, no, we are definitely they're willing to kill innocents to get to us. And is that the fairy drops? I mean, I get maybe you have to pick them up. I don't think we'll be seeing Kokon Hore. Yeah, low dive is a very neat category. Okay, no, this wasn't a D door. This is a key door. Okay, we have an ID now. Wow, we went from terrible place to nice looking place in no time flat. I'd forgotten. There is a D door in there, but we ignore it. Alright, so yeah, now we're in a med, like, I think it's called med sector or something. Right. But yeah, we are on the quest to get to the surface, right? Like, yeah, the fear, of course, is in any post-apocalyptic thing is that the surface is, you know, ravaged and destroyed and whatever, but like, you know, Ryu promises it to Nina, right, like, because Nina is actually a walking biofilter. Like, she exists to consume, to clear the air for, like, people that live up in the higher zones. Like, that is her purpose in life, is to be an air filter. And like any air filter, when she gets used up, she dies. It's pretty grim. Like, you can get more cutscenes about that in you know, if you have a higher D rating, but obviously we're not even watching the cutscenes we have. You can skip all the cutscenes in this game from the get-go. And yeah, Nina and Lin will be poisoned for the rest of the run. By and large. Alright, this room is filled with various elemental goos, and usually, yeah, we will be trying to manipulate those elemental goos so as to get their stuff and their drops. Get stuff and drops from them. Try it again. Okay, that worked. Now, you can see that the red one actually absorbed the fire. So we got rid of all but the red one. The treasure's still around. Like the treasure isn't claimed in combat, right? So we got all the stuff from them, and that gets us through the room, right? So again, tricks and traps to try and get through rooms as quickly as possible.
シリーズしてまして、ドラコモもかなり悲惨な。4とセルぐらい悲惨です。
Little flies. Kind of annoying if they actually activate, but here you're seeing us briefly turn red. I think that's the poison ticks for the other characters. Ryu's not poisoned, but the other two are. Okay, this is where we actually make the promise to Janina. Like, wait, the guy comes in and he's like, "Yeah, she's not a person, right?" Like, what's like, and we flay him out. Because, yeah, that's where that guy that was crouched on the floor there is. And so, yeah, that's when we make the promise to Nina that we're going to get her up to the clean air of the surface. Right? Any means necessary. And so, yeah, that is, we have completed the story prologue, which is that.
あら、これ配信大丈夫ですかね。僕今、治りました。すいません、トラブルだったんですかね。では気を取り直して先へ進んでいきます。結構物語序盤って馬肉でモンスターを誘導して避けたり
all the combats here with a little bit of D-dashing.
この辺になってくると中盤ですね。逆に
I think we're coming up on the wall of set. So at some point, there's a wall of shield people that pops up, but we haven't reached it yet. I was hoping that was the one. But yeah, we're going up through med sector. Right, we're going to be going through a whole bunch of different sectors on our way up to the surface.
実はお店も
970 meters vertically to go.
ランダムのお店が多いんですよ。4パターンランダムで本当に欲しい武器が何も売ってないお店とかもあるんですけれど、ちょっと拾います。
Right, like we didn't even bother healing because we don't expect to get in combats or anything.
このお店にはプラズマレーザープラス1という
We have okay. Plasma maser. All right, we buy plasma maser. It looks like plasma maser is an electrical element. A weapon. If you can get it as a drop. Just trying to avoid monsters by tricks and traps, and monsters surprising us because they're mimics. I think that is a room full of mimics. Yeah, there was a bit of a fire.
これさっき練習2回やったんですが、2回とも拾えなかったので、ちょっと怖いので今回は拾っていきます。ここですね。ここの組結構苦手。まず馬肉投げる。
Whole bunch of ice enemies.
2、
Boom.
3、
Boom.
4、5で、で近くで大丈夫これ。これで打って。
That looks good.
多分
Looks
大丈
good.
夫。よし。出ましたね。
Yeah.
これ出たらなくても別にいいんですが。
Ooh, we actually got the key this time. What? I forget what's in the key thing for this one. But the key, again, I mentioned the keys open the blue chests. Whatever was in there, we really wanted it.
4番目のデンジャールーム。
I missed that when I was reviewing the speedrun. I'm not a speedrunner of the game. But I have done some of the research and I played the game itself extensively. Oh no!
今のぶつかるか。そうかぶつかるよな。
This isn't good at all.
耐えるので大丈夫。
We didn't make any safeties. There are no safeties here.
キャンセルし、拾えないか。ちょっとやり直して、馬肉は
You did manage to run away. Rin is down. You get to try the room again, to some degree.
怖いな、ちょっと安定取ります。
Go, 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 go! Another one for safety.
降ってこない。ちょっと待って。降ってきてくれよ。
Oh, there's a third bat on that line. All right. Oh, we are gonna kill them. We just wanted to kill them in.
いやー、いつもと違って。多分大丈夫。
3 normal bombs. And yeah.
It's good to be efficient in our killing of monsters.
It is. But yeah, thankfully we didn't use too many resources up before when we failed out in the room the first time. All right. So yeah, we have to be, we are efficient in our killing of monsters. This is a speed run. And Mocha's PB is a little over an hour, so we are halfway through this run already. Avoiding all the fights makes things go much faster. Once we get to the ice section, though, things get hot and heavy because, well, you'll see. But right now we're mainly just dealing with unpopulated areas with lots of enemies and weird stuff. All right. We identify that thing, it was a gun, and it's a gun we want. Okay, so the thing we picked up from Blue Chest is a gun. It's a gun we want. My guess is that, so the weapons can have techniques built into them, as well as you can learn techniques independent of weapons, and shields. And so my guess is that okay, and yeah, here's a safety save, because I think we're going to be going into probably the roughest fight of the run. And by fight, I mean like 3 fights in a row. The game is not shy with its brutality. And so yeah, this is one of the places, this is the place I expected a safety save most of all. So. Yeah, he's mentioning save tokens, right? Like, saves in this game are not infinite. You have to use a coin. You have to use an object to save. Yep. And yeah, the characters having 3 weapons works with the skill system, right? You can have 3 skills at each level, and then you can have multiple weapons, so you can have different access to different chains. Right, like inside of your weapon system, right? You can say like, oh, this weapon is for setting traps with Nina. This weapon is for these kind of things. All right, so this is the fight that I was afraid of, right? So we have multiple groups of enemies here, and our job is to kill all of them in one dragon turn. So you saw there, you can actually change your order. Like in a Final Fantasy Tactics turn order sense, you can actually manually move your order down, right? So they're manually moving the order for their characters down, specifically so that their characters will act as they want to. Right, we're getting Rin and Nina and Ryu in the right place, because what's going to eventually happen is we're going to pull all of the enemies into one cluster with Rin. And then that 1-2 combo is what we're going to use to set this room up, hopefully. What up? Yep, because that vacuum is a 1-person move, but if you combo with it, it turns into a multi-person move. Right, and that's how you get everybody clustered, and then guess what Ryu's gonna do? Ryu Beam! Ryu Beam is going to solve this combat. That did not hit everybody. That does not hit everybody. There we go. I think you really needed to hit everybody, including that one in the back. Oh, the 700 lives, so we're going to cool down to get out of dragon form and stab him in the back. Alright, first combat down. You can see we're up to 14 and change on the percentage meter, right? Second fight. Right, this boss has a lot of mechanics, but the mechanics are largely irrelevant for our purposes. So A single target? Well, we've never fought a single target before. What are we going to do? Well, one of Ryu's many tools is that he can power himself up by spending meter, right? So we power it up once, and then he has a 2-hit combo here. We back attack specifically in the attempt to get it to critical, and then it enters a self-destruct mode. We breathe on it for 1 tick to get the self-destruct mode triggered. Whoa, wow, it has more HP than we thought. Okay, there we go. All right. And then that skips the self-destruct mode that would do some damage to the team. And that's the second fight. Time for the third fight. The person who gave you the job to transport Nina in the third place, the leader of the Rangers, is here. And she does not play. There goes half of Ryu's HP in one move. The game is very nice in that she doesn't focus down a person, guaranteed. Although it is possible that Nina just takes a beating and gets wiped here. Because the game decided that you wanted to have a bad day, and that's why you have to safety save. Alright? Charge and a twister is how we solve most of our single combats, and that fight is done. So yep, that is a risky fight. The game can really decide to punish you there. That went pretty cleanly. We want the Violet Blade very badly, and so we pick it up. We are now at 2350 on our percentage meter. And we continue upwards, having killed all of the low sector Rangers. Except for Bosch, I guess. Including their commander. Alright. And here we do a lot more D-dashing here. And I know we take one room of mods at some point. I don't remember when. But yeah, there's a lot of micro stuff that's happening here. Just in terms of making sure that everything works out. Like I said, every room has 2 enemy configurations and treasure configurations. So, like in terms of memorizing a route, you have to memorize 2 times the route. A danger room's coming up, it sounds like. Which are the rooms where we have to kill everything in them. I think there are 4 of them in the game.
あとはドラコって全体的にこれ多分配信画面見てもすごく暗くてなかなか見えないなみたいな。
Yeah, again, like we could in theory be dashing here, and we're just choosing not to because it costs meter. And our meter is a resource.
まあ地下だからあえて暗くしたというような感じ。
Yeah, we use it to bully enemies out of the way, like you just saw. They're coming up on 2/3 through the PB, and a little under that for the estimate. We've still got quite a bit of boss to fight. But I think the one that is most difficult for the speedrun is the Xeno fight, is the guard captain. Okay, this is a danger room. We do have to kill everything in here, and so we're going to try and lure all these balls into the corner and then blow them up. Oh, mines. 14 mines, and the last ones are going to blow up here. One's left. That one didn't get all the mine hits. You can see we're using a different weapon now. We're using Xeno's weapon because it's better. The Violet Blade is better than what we had. Man, there's a lot to do in an hour and change to beat Dragon Quarter that quickly. And I mean, like I said, like there's so much more like stuff that you could be getting and doing. along the way. There's a whole mini game around building a colony of ants,
機械って馬肉
like
お肉
an
食べない
actual
ので
colony of giant ants.
D ダッシュで
There's
進む形になります
right, like there's
いよいよ一戦
the
目
SOL loops, right? Like there's more
ここでも
cutscenes. There's stuff you can't access your first
ボッと戦うんですけ
playthrough
れど
through.
これも序盤、中盤かな中盤初めのちょっとここで積みポイントなんですが通常プレイの
There's a lot more to this game than we're going to see mechanically.
強すぎてファンの
And even some of what we're going to see is not fully like Rin has a very deep combo system.
RTA だと問題ない
Right. We saw Rin's Ora Ora into Suck, into Vacuum.
ドラゴン変身しま
Right.
して
This is like they have sent a very like a weird kind of a weird sort of assassin after us, but it's just one, so we're going to twist her to death. Boing, boing. Ta-da!
倒してますけど命を削ってドラゴンになって戦って
An interesting thing about SOL loops is actually that you're supposed to use the dragon to level and then go back to your save and keep some of that experience. Right, so you're actually supposed to like murder everything with the dragon. When you get close to 100, go back to your save point, right? Like keeping all of that bonus XP that you got, and like you're supposed to do that repeatedly, and that's how you're supposed to level for a casual player. Again, we don't need to do that, but it is an incredibly odd system to somebody who's, you know, from a lineage of games which are just, you know, standard JRPGs. Possibly the most standard of JRPGs. Breath of Fire games hew pretty close to the standard template, all things considered. Doesn't mean I don't love them, but yeah, this was a huge departure at the time. But yeah, oh, the game also has a super boss dungeon that we won't be getting to, obviously. But there is actually a category that gets the best possible rating in one playthrough. Okay. Okay.
爆風が2回当たっていて
Again,
これ反応
I
爆
think
弾
this is another danger room.
7
So we have to kill this nerd.
9 10当たってない
You can hear them
当
counting.
てますか
Right.
これで OK のはずで
Okay. I think we're about ready.
爆
Right,
弾
the swing can also knock enemies back, so
OK ですね
there we go. Boom. Murdered.
ありがとうございます
And yeah, like they actually sent several assassins after us of various types.
なん
But
だろう他に難しいとこあるかなあとなんか
Now they're dead.
そうしかないような気が
at least those two are. All right.
トレジャー2パターンあってこれ悪いパターンですね
Okay. That was I think that was a skill that we learned. Yeah, we learned some skills for Nina. Those you can see the icon was a W, right? Like that's for W for weapon skill. Right, and here we're using that party XP, that extra XP that we can get, like to drive Ryu's level to the roof because Ryu kills all the bosses. Right, everybody else is just a tool to help Ryu kill all the bosses. Right, I think this is the third assassin. But again, it's just one nerd.
これ世界記録保持者の人めちゃくちゃ速いんですけれど、唐突に世界記録
Like the kind of techno
出てないんですよね。
the kind of techno retro dragons in this game are also really kind of cool. Not dead yet.
危な、リチャージ使いかけた。使ったら終わってたぞ。
Okay, we're cooling down. Yeah, no, I mean a lot of people do that. Is they just do full SOL resets.
倒せないので。
All right, not dead. Okay, we gave her Fire Blast, and that'll finish it off. Okay. Yeah, Nina has a lot of AoE effects. Like, so unsurprisingly, Ryu's largely single target. Nina is traps in AoE, and Rin is a massive amount of utility with her combos. A lot of kind of map utility. as well as the ability to strike from range, right? So each of them kind of typifies, you know, a piece of how you would build a tactical battle system, right? All right, we're still 840 below ground. We have not been making that much upward progress, but we are most of the way, more than halfway through our estimate. All right, we switch weapons here. And only other weapon is the plasma mazer, right? So I guess we want the plasma mazer. And no luck on the shop.
2分の1外しました。この後上層区というところがありまして、上層区で武器が売っているのを祈る形になります。上層区は4分の4つのうち3つはまあ OK な武器の。
Okay, this is the area before you get to meet the rebels.
なんで上層区で4分の1
right, like, cause that's our ostensible destination is right. Is like I'll take you to the rebels now that you're also against the order of things, right? Like, and we can help you get to the surface, right? Those ghosts are kind of annoying. I think we are also through all the danger rooms in the run, but I'm not sure. But yeah, those ghosts are annoying, and you know, plus we don't want to fight any combats, obviously. All right, more ghosts.
いやーでも中層区武器なかったらちょっと辛いですね。これ記録狙い RTA だともうリセットしてるレベルの運を引いています。
Down. We need to go up. Game. No, I mean we have to do this. But all right, again. All right, I guess this area is filled with like ghosts and zombies.
走りまくるトライダートだよね。
All right, we push through that big chunk of yellow. Our meter is still in good shape. We're at 3371. That's fine.
毎回変わって面白いんですけれど、店ランダムは本当になんだろう。
I think we enter the upper reaches at like 50. But yeah, we're doing a good job of managing the dragon meter, and of course, right, like that's all routed out. This is a speed run. Right. I think we made it to the Trinity Town. This is where the rebels are. The rebel leader is here as well. An SOL scene will reveal that the rebel leader and one of the people in charge of the you know, in charge of everything actually meet. That's the rebel leader. Actually meet together, like all of the people, like the important people in this game, right? Like talk to each other and know about each other, right? Like it's like this guy is leading a rebellion because he doesn't disagree with them, right? Like not because he doesn't disagree with he disagrees with his friends, not because right, like he's never met them. Yeah, this fight again, we're going to right, like we find out that they're going to do something bad to Nina. You can see like that, right, like, and so we're like, nope. Perhaps actually you will not do anything bad to Nina. And we bust her out. And yeah, suddenly Trinity's against us too. Or something, I don't know. I don't remember exactly what happens here. But I don't really care because the guy in charge of Trinity knows the 4 people in charge and anyway. But yeah, we just use the dragon's ability to move everywhere. Proxo mentioned it earlier. The dragon has infinite range for movement to take care of those disparate enemies in one hit for each. And yep, off we go. Well, like it's not safe here. So now we continue upwards.
Now
we're in Lifeline. I heard him say Lifeline. It's like, yep. This is the... Yeah. I think this is the last segment before Center is Lifeline. Another fairly grungy monster filled area.
やってる界隈ありまして、
Whew.
参加した時に僕だけこのライフラインで死んだ
Run past those nerds easily.
ライフライン通るたびに当時の視聴者に馬鹿にされるというのは僕十数年。
760. We made 40 meters of progress on that one elevator. Gotta love to see it.
今回行こうと思います。
100 experience in a box. Gotta love that too. No, that tube wasn't an enemy.
プレイヤーの方聞いてみたんですけど、全然
You're in that room that
Right.
looks like an enemy.
I love my experience when it comes in a box.
I love boxes of experience. Yep. Again. Those yellow guys are goblin likes, right? Like they kind of rocky goblin bodies.
仲間全体に魔法飛んでくるので、あそこ死んじゃうことがあるんですよね。
No, thank you. That was the blue treasure box, like the thing that's supposed to give you treasure for the entire floor. Right, like that one was a mimic. We saw it briefly, but even the super special rare boxes can be mimics. If the game design wants you to. Yeah, like I said, like this game pulls a lot from the wizardry kind of ethos, right? Like even if it is obviously not like a wizardry game, right? I get the bones of what we consider, right, like roguelikes and NetHack and like all that sort of stuff, right, like is in the DNA of this game, right, like in this game's design. But again, that wasn't something that was mainstream for Western audiences, right? Like this is pre the roguelike explosion. This is pre Dark Souls. This is pre a lot of the things that, right, like, you know, a Western JRPG audience would have just been like, yeah, like I recognize these mechanics and know how to play with them. Right, which is another piece of how like people got confused at the SOL mechanics and stuff. Alright, we're at negative 720. And this is Bosch 2. It's another Bosch fight. Of course, it's a single target, but there's like 20 minutes of contingencies on this fight in the notes. Like the notes for this category are a video. There's 20 minutes of contingencies on what is going to be like a 1 minute fight, dealing with like, oh, like what happens if like you don't crit? What happens if Bosch survives? What happens if Bosch survives this way? What happens if Bosch survives that way? Blah blah blah. All right, but we got it easy peasy, right? Like it's just oops, dragon, Bosch dead, done. He's not actually dead. We haven't necessarily been lining up casters that know the games. Sometimes we just don't have somebody on tap. And
I can explain that a bit further.
Yeah.
So, yes, commentators, you can sign up to commentate. If you want to check the schedule in English, !schedule, you can see the schedule and see what games don't have a commentator for them yet. But otherwise, then we have a form that is open right now. It's pinned in chat or !form. And if you know a game that's on the schedule coming up that doesn't have a commentator, whether that's casual play, whether that's speedrunning it, or just familiarity with the series as a whole, sign up. Come submit to do commentary for us.
Yeah, no, it's a catch-as-catch-can thing to some degree. Some things we do have lined up, some we don't. This got added to the schedule almost immediately, right? So just, thankfully, I was listening to this while I was playing Racing Review, and I'm like, oh wait, Dragon Quarter! I know enough about Dragon Quarter!
Yeah, to be clear, you do not need to be an expert in the game, so as long as you have some knowledge of the game, you're welcome to apply to commentate.
But yeah, right now our two weapons are the Violet Blade. I think we have a Plasma. I think we got a Plasma weapon and the Ranger Blade, and we don't really want the Ranger Blade around. So I think, and remember I mentioned weapons have skills on them, right? Like I didn't catch what weapon that he's looking for, but this game is roguelike-ish through and through, and that includes things like BT dubs, the items that popped up this time at the shop. All right, it's just a little guy. Why are you blowing up the little guy? Yeah, we wanted to turn that into a one fight just with the little guy, because that everything else goes away once you kill the little guy. So. Alright.
頑張りましょ
This
う
is about where we want to be in terms of the dragon meter in the upper right. Like we're getting close to the next biome,
ボスですね、2体いるん
so to
ですけれ
speak.
ど
What the kind of the upper class regions of this stack of filth.
下誘導してから走ります。
Whee! Run through those robots.
いやー、ちょっと
Yeah, I think we might actually end up a little higher than we want to be on Dragon Meter, but not desperately so.
いやー、祈るしかないぞこれは。頑張りましょうか。地上に向けて進んでいきます。これゲームのパッケージ裏にも書いてあるんですが、空を見に行くというのがキャッチフレーズになっておりまして、結構これいいキャッチフレーズですよね。危ない、足元置いたの今。走る。
I am trying to figure out why he was so. These are again, we have Earthbind style mechanics, so enemies that are too much weaker than us can just be killed from the overworld map.
デモネゾ戦だろう。27か28あればな。
Okay, yeah, we're looking for a decent weapon here, right? Like something better than Violent Blade, right? Like that's what we missed. So yeah, it's just he's just looking for a better weapon, right? Like Ryu is our DPS, right? Like Ryu's stats matter. Right. And just we were supposed to if you hadn't found a decent weapon, looking at that chop, that might be the notes mentioned that might be the last chance you have to get a weapon for the entire run. Right. And so yeah, so we reached the entrance to the center, and we find some big jerk standing in our way. So, unsurprisingly, we're going to drag it up. Yeah, our meter has changed from... Okay. You reset. You didn't actually... You can reset your movement. Twister. Okay, did you see that white field that showed up? Right, like... The final series of bosses have in essence. Oh, we wanted him to die on that hit. Have to use one more. They have a field that decreases the amount of damage they take flat. So like it's a shield that just makes like 100 damage go away on each hit, right? Which is again something that prompts you to use the dragon form, right? Because the dragon form can hit for a ton. Right, but like it's much tougher to plink them down. You saw him knock that enemy back into the fires. The fires wouldn't have done enough to get through the field, but that entire sequence, right, like of actions, happened in one go. So the fire damage got in. Absolute defense, yeah. I was gonna say AT field, but it's not. But it is pretty close. All right, so now we're in the upper class region, and wow, like it's not polluted here at all. Compared to like everywhere else we've been. Yeah, my brain wanted to call it absolute territory, but yeah, it's absolute defense. It pushes you into the dragon or combos, right? Like which are the two main mechanics of the game to do damage. You know, and of course we'll be answering the call by using our dragon form on all of these bosses. Right. For the rest of the run, pretty much, it's our dragon form is slated for murdering bosses. All right, this is a mimic. We want the item that comes out of that. It provides. I think it buffs every stat to the max on usage. Right, it's like, you know, attack up and defense up and speed up, etc. We want a couple of those as we're going through these bosses. So we take the time to kind of kill that mimic. Yeah, it's
絶対普段広がないけど。
Yeah, it's called 7 something. I don't remember the name of it. Yeah, you take the AP up. But yeah, but we'll take a couple of the mimic boxes that look like that to get those. All right, it's a goo room. 7 cents. Yes, thank you. I knew it was a 7 something, but I can.
よしよしよし、
AP
これクリアできました。今のこれはクリアできたと思う。チャージ AP というアイテムを今拾ったんですけれど。
Yeah, those APs they refill your AP meter. Again, since using items doesn't cost you AP, right? Like they're essentially just free action meter, right? So you could see Mocha be very happy about that. Here's another one of the people in charge of the clean area. Right, like you see, it's a soft, it's a squishy and a big beast. Squishy commanded the big beast to target Nina. We don't care.
これはリチャージ2
Ooh,
回
we power up twice there.
乱数なしで倒せるボスなので、ちょっと安心の休憩区間でしたね。本来横に強いモンスターを刺激していて、命令してくる結構強いボスなんですけれど、
We admit that.
即攻撃で
Yeah. Yeah, you get to there's a fork here in terms of which regions you fight. You choose the left side or the right side.
四天王の一人と戦えるところに
We chose that one because see we're already at negative 420, right? Like we're making great progress towards the roof, towards the ceiling of the world. Yeah, like we went from negative 600 to negative 400-ish real fast there. Whole bunch of treasure boxes that we don't care about.
敵ですので、
Again, we're gonna kill this for another 7 cents.
ターンで倒していきます。
We've got an EX turn. Easy 7 cents. Moving on. But yeah, no matter which region you choose to find, they all have that absolute defense field. But yeah, those for casual play, those are definitely a roadblock. Those absolute defense fields force you into Dragon, where you might not have been using Dragon as much because you're afraid of the meter. Alright, this jerk likes to go invisible. But you know what invisibility doesn't stop, perhaps. You can't actually place a trap exactly on top of a trap. That's why you see this kind of very careful wiggling to place them as close to as on top of each other as Nina can. Right, and then
経験挑戦のために倒してほしいのでここに置いてグランパダムに入ることで
we are purposefully luring them into the fields, specifically to break their invis, I think.
残っちゃいましたね。でここのドラゴンに D ダイブ。
But now that all that's taken care of, right? Like, and Nina's dead and nobody cares. Time to charge up
あと1回です。
and turn the nerd into hamburger. Yeah, I think this is an XP routing thing.
後ろだと
But the actual upshot is that the idiot ran into the fires and became visible, and now we're going to turn them into hamburger because that's what Ryu does. Bye. Again, right? Like, why Ryu's the only actual damage dealer. Of course, we only care about Ryu's levels.
倒しましていよいよ
Alright. Yes, hitting in the back increases chance of crits as well. So hitting them in the back is always preferred. And yeah, missing with dragon attacks is extremely bad. But yeah, it increases all of the good stuff attacking from the back.
でそれ開けるための鍵はもう拾ってるので、
You've seen several times when the
ここに鍵
the
刺して
dragon has moved around to the back to attack someone, and it's because of increased crit
で
chance,
もう一
increased
個
hit
鍵
chance.
刺しまして、
Yes.
なんとか
All right, we have made it
拾いませ
through
んと戻んなきゃいけないん
the
です
upper
けれど、
sector.
さすがに
We have opened the
取り探してな
door
かったようです。
to the sky. We have we have a save point that we're ignoring because
で次の戦
at
闘
this
も乱
point
数必要ないはずなんですが、ちょっと
we're at
必要。
370,
あ
right?
ー、レ
Like
ベル足りないの。
nope, not enough for level here. Did not get enough bonus experience for another level. All right, this is the final boss
この戦
sequence.
闘本来乱数ないんですけれど、武器とレベルが
So the
弱いので。
first, I think we're going to.
ですね。
Okay, yeah, we're riding this elevator all the way to the last surface point. Yeah, we have X many turns. This is another dragon. Starts out with alter ego, creates extra, creates action economy. 7 cents for Ryu. Bing, 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 bing. Max out all your stats. Right. Yeah, this is another dragon, right? Like this boss also has an AT field. This boss does also not messing around. We power up twice more on top of 7 cents.
頼むぞ。いやー、乱数怖いんだけど頼むぞ。
That damage is tight.
よしよしよしよし。危ない。
Okay, we got him. Yeah, that's right. Like we are running out of dragon. Right, like wanting to get that in two twisters is really important. So that's why they were stressed there. But yeah, we did it. We beat up the other dragon. Another 1/4, I should say. Yeah. Yeah, absolute defense means that barely missing a kill is actually needing to pile on, another 400 damage. So yeah, it's right now we're at negative 110. We are real close now, thanks to that elevator. But Bosch is not done with us. Bosch is back. Bosch wants vengeance. Hi, Bosch.
多分これはいらないんですけれども。
Bosch is here for one last annoyance. But we're going to do what we've been doing for the entire rest of the game. Use up not all of our dragon meter, but most of it. We're gonna 1x, 2x. We didn't use the 7 cents here. What? I was like, you don't want to enter that command. Did we get him?
これ借り物のコントローラーなので。
Okay. He does have an AT field as well.
ビール持ちか。で次ラスボス戦なんですけれど、これ D カウンター足りていないので。
What's our D counter at?
安定取った戦闘をします。
Okay. Our D counter is at 90-99. All right.
いいな、殴って竜をまず逃がします。
Oof. Yeah, this is another dragon class enemy. It's right, like we are having the other two take the hits here, to buy time for Ryu to get AP. Yeah, no, like in 99, you can get real close, like 99, 98, 99, 50. Right, like you want to end high, but you can't hit 100. You can't hit 100 before the last last sequence, right? I think we have just enough here. Yeah.
2回とビール使えないから。
96.
もういやー殴るしかないか。普通にさっき殴ればよかった。これ多分足りてないですね。
9750. Ooh, it is gonna be tight. No.
必殺もなしか。これ。
Oh god.
いやー足りてないような気がする。
Cool down.
ブートパワー。いやー足りないよねこれ。 いやー、これリタイアかもしれないです。
Fully AP restore. Attack maxed. This boss does not have an AT field. Yeah, the runner, this, you're not supposed to be doing this. This is a desperation technique, but that life bar is empty. We got there. We did it. Whew. This is like the backup of backups. You are absolutely not supposed to do that. All right, the game's not over yet, but that's the last challenging thing. The boss transforms into an even more draconic form, but it's a set-piece fight. The set-piece fight is you just empty your breath into it until you hit 100. And that's the fight. That's the game. GG. Wow. That run was treating Mocha pretty well, except for the lack of a good weapon. And then, like, the fights overall went really well, except for that lack of a good weapon. And then the lack of a good weapon kind of made the final fights really, really dicey. That's it. Ryu capped out at 100. The ending is a little ambiguous as to whether Ryu actually survives or not. But the sky has been reached. Nina no longer has to breathe in toxic air through her wings as an air filter and die. Right? Like, Ryu succeeded at his heroic task. But the game leaves it a bit ambiguous as to whether Ryu actually gets to enjoy the fruits of his labor here. Because you do, as you know, right, like you max out the dragon meter there, right? Like you hit 100% as part of beating the game. That's why you want it as high as possible. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's an ambiguous ending. You can read it, hopefully or not, right? Like the game doesn't pin it down for you. But yeah, you absolutely, right? Like you, right there, right? Like you kind of see, right? Like this. Right, like Ryu is just at the end of everything here, right? Like just absolutely tapped out. And then that's Ryu. That's Ryu seeing his dragon form. But anyway, no, it's Dragon Quarter. It's got a lot more than what you saw here. But even what you saw here is, I think, interesting enough to make people that enjoy tactical games, that enjoy kind of like enjoy a lot of the stuff in this vein, right? Like the critical opinion has come around on the game to some degree because people have some distance. And I'm always glad for that because this game really is just kind of a gem of even, games this late in the development cycle of video games don't throw as many ideas at a game as this one did, and it really is just kind of really, and like we were talking yesterday about games that aged well, where like the cell shading here ages really well, like as opposed to kind of like a hard polygon punt, right? Man, Dragon Quarter, I really like it. Really glad they managed to add it. Yeah, I mean, this isn't a PB/world record for Mocha, but it's still like a good run. Underestimate and. But yeah, we're seeing like the world where like it's not destroyed by apocalypse, right? Like but yeah, this is. Right, like this is where kind of Flux's interpretation comes in, is like the dragon giving Ryu a second chance. But I don't think we get it confirmed ourselves. But I think it's a hopeful read, is a solid read here too. But yeah, no, it's super scary, right? I mentioned the one safety save, right? Like that Mocha got to make before the definitely the most dangerous fight. Yeah, no, that's we like. And then Nina runs back. I don't.
ドラゴンに侵食されて 100% になってもう死ぬはずだったんですが、ここで奇跡が起きまして、ここで無事リュウも目覚めてハッピーエンドというのがドラコのストーリーとなります。でこの後エンディングの歌めちゃくちゃいい歌なんですけれども、ちょっと半鍵曲でして流せないので、ここでそうですね、ここでリセットし
Yeah,
まし
so
て
like
いきたいと思います。
the last note definitely leans hopeful, but we don't get the hard confirm. But that's Dragon Quarter. There's more cutscenes to be had if you
これに
play
て
through
配
it
信を
yourself.
終了させていただきます。RTA ジャパンまだまだ続きますの
Great
で、
run by
お願い
Mocha.
いたしますということで締めさせていただきます。ありがとうございました。
Thank you so much for that amazing, amazing commentary. Hello, everyone, by the way. Hello, English Speedrun Restreams. Hello, RTA in Japan Summer 2025. Do you have any shout-outs you would like to give, Mecha?
From the ending song. Yeah, no, right, like, let's see, who made this speedrun tutorial? I managed to brush up, Rexdon, did the speedrun tutorial that helped me brush up on, kind of what was happening here. Obviously shout outs to Mocha. There is a, Breath of Fire speedrunning Discord, that you can go to. It's linked from the speedrun.com page. I stream on mechalink sometimes, off and on. I will be back in the morning, US time morning, for the Seiken Densetsu 3 run. I'll be covering that as well. As somebody who's just showing a vibrating RTA Chen against the camera.
Yeah, that beautiful art. Well, thank you so much. Thank you again. We're just gonna take a little break here, and then we will be right back. I hope everybody is extremely hyped for the rhythm game block.